tackle, camera gear, toilet paper. Check, we're good. What is up, MFers? Welcome back to another exciting video. I'm pretty juiced for today because we are back in the northern Arkansas, southern Missouri area once again, like we have been the last few days. Hope you guys have been enjoying the videos the last few days. It's been an absolute freaking blast on here. I'm back with Jackson from Ozark Creek Bums, and Brandon, his buddy, is joining us today as well. They took me to this creek right here. This river is called We'd Have to Kill You if we told you what it was or where it was river, but I can assure you we are somewhere in northern Arkansas right now, and we're chasing big bronze ones and spotted bass today too. Oh yeah, spotted bass in this river as well. Totally different scenery than yesterday. Totally different river. It's narrower, deeper, still ultra clear, and yeah, I think we're gonna get shoved off, get put in here. I think we're floating about 5 miles today. Hopefully get some topwater fish, some Ned rig fish, a little bit of everything, but there's big old gargantuan small jaws in here. Like he said, no, I made that up, not a 13 pounder, but we're gonna catch some big ones today. I have a good feeling. Let's go. Got him on the board with the small jaw. Well, there he goes. He just took off, but hey, we're on the board. Ned rig, small jaw, pow pow. You gotta swim it. Swim the turd. That's what the big ones want today. Got them dialed in. That works. All right, guys, we're not up to the size caliber we want, but pretty close. Cool little fish. Yep, another big one. Drop the poles. These fish fight so freaking hard in this current. Love it. Another turd fish. Oh, see you later, man. Have a good day. Go get bigger and stuff. Tell your mom to bite. Oh, doubled up. Double giants. Whoa, that's a dirty turd stretcher right there. Largemouth? Yeah. Dude, you got the trifecta already. Brandon up here has caught a little largemouth, a little spot, and a little smallmouth. He's got the trifecta. Let's go do it. There's one. Come over by the camera, small jaw. Oh, sweet. Lost him. Well, just hooked biggest smallie I've had of the day. Probably only about like a 12-inch smallmouth. Not a big one, but we're heading in the right direction. It's been a little tough today. This river's definitely a tougher river to fish than what we fished yesterday, but that's probably why there's a bunch more big ones. So we're just gonna kind of keep poking around, fishing what we can in the kayak, and then getting out, do a little bit of wading. It is another hot one though. It's like 90 degrees. Got him. Got him. Oh God. What the heck? Oh, that's disgusting. You let go. There he goes. Well, guys, we caught ourselves a little bit of a gar. Not really what we were after. He just mangled my little swim bait I'm throwing here. But the smallmouth aren't biting like crazy, so a gar is fun too, right? Got some teeth marks in my swimming bait. Good. Freaking giant, man. Oh God, is that a spot? Oh, it's a smallie. Dude, that's a big one.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so pissed if I lose it.
You're not gonna lose it. He's in the side. Yeah, you're good. You got him. He sucks good. Yes. Giant. Oh my God, dude.
Oh, he's not that big. He's just fat.
That's a solid one. That's a 3+ pounder.
Oh yeah.
There he goes. Oh man, that's too fun. Oh, that was sick. That guy didn't care. I watched him come eat it. This is pretty close to the one you just caught. It might be I think this is the same fish you just caught. It's about the same size. Pretty close. So we just got up to this spot, deep spot on the river. There's a big bluff wall right here. Definitely some deeper water along the side of it. And Brandon was throwing this little Ned rig right against the wall, letting it kind of drift down. And easily caught the biggest one of the day and biggest one we've seen since we've been down here. So there's definitely good quality in here. Been a little bit tougher, but I think we're kind of getting things dialed in a little bit. And just kind of have to grind for the bigger bites. Typical stuff. There we go. There you go. Finally. Got one to eat the slammer. Hey, it's a spot. That's my first spotted bass ever on the slammer. Sweet. Now I've caught all 3 species on the slammer in 2 days. It's not very common, I wouldn't think. Cool. See you later, buddy. There we go. Oh, that feels like a good one. Come here, bud. Dude, hell yes. I think that's a mean mouth, man. Dude, that looks like a mean mouth. What do you think? Hybrid between a spot and a smallie. So sick. Awesome fish. Freaking crushed it, man. I mean, that's probably just a straight spot. Now that I look at it, he's just really bronze. Yeah. Sweet. All right, slammer water. I'll take it. Top water in the middle of the day. 95 degrees, no wind. There we go. Easy peasy. Largemouth. All right. I think that's my first largemouth today. Just need to throw a bait that was the same size as him, right? Uh-oh. Who would put a tree there? Later, rods.
All right, Brandon, knock us through.
Don't do this. Well, it's not good. Not good.
Full send, man.
Full send. Oh, you almost did it. Damn it, he's gonna do it.
All right, pull him through once you get over. Like, grab a hold of him.
We're doing it. We're really doing it, Harry.
It's like that Bill Dance video where they get stuck on the log and he gets out and gets trying to get back in the cold water. Yeah!
Let's do it again on the next tree. Yep. Yep. Big ol' Mr. Spotted Bass. I hate how you go right into the wherever you're going. Spotted bass do not like the MS Slammer. It is officially noted. That is awesome. There we go. Ah, yeah. He wasn't very big. What's up, guys? I am obviously back home now at the house. Didn't shoot out to the video because I was honestly just like completely freaking tired, wiped out, exhausted after traveling. I went super hard leading up to that trip, and then all we did was fish and drive and kayak and paddle the entire time we were there. That was definitely a very special place. I was talking to people since I got home, and I really got a chance to look back on it and think about it. And somewhere that I compare it to is Colorado. Like, I love going to Colorado, fishing the streams for trout, because I love the clean water, the current, the beautiful scenery. But every time I'm there, I'm always wishing, I wish these were largemouth, smallmouth, spotted bass, stuff like that. And so basically that's exactly what southern Missouri, northern Arkansas had to offer. And the coolest thing about it was, from talking to Jackson and talking to other MFers that have reached out to me and asked if I was still down there, Sounds like we only scratched the surface. There is so much more water to go fish down there. Now, a quick little recap on what worked best for us while I was out there. 2 baits come to mind that I caught like 95% of my fish on. The first one, the most exciting one, of course, let's talk about the old MS Slammer. This is basically just, you know, a 7-inch MS Slammer, as you guys can see. This one has caught a few thousand fish for me. It catches so many fish. As you saw, it catches big fish, small fish. And on this trip, I was lucky enough to catch my first ever smallmouth bass and my first ever spotted bass on the Slammer. So I was super, super stoked about that. You know, what makes this bait so effective is it has a really natural action, real nice S swimming action on top of the water. But it also, this bait clacks. It makes like a rumbling noise almost as it slowly works through the water. And especially the smallmouth and spotted bass, I was casting next to isolated targets with clean water and just twitching that bait. Not necessarily walking it, but when you twitch this bait, it kind of rolls over, the tail flies up out of the water. Of course, it clacks, but it looks like a dying bait fish. And in a river system where it's super, super competitive, there's so many bait fish in the lake already, and there's a ton of largemouth, smallmouth, spotted bass, little ones about this size. This guy was absolutely perfect. So this guy got a ton of bites for me. The other bait that got a ton of bites that Jackson caught like all his fish on, Brandon caught the giant smallmouth and all his fish on too, was the old Ned rig. And I don't really like to call it the Ned rig. It's a jig head worm. I don't think we need to name it necessarily after a guy when this thing has been around for decades and decades before that. But basically what makes this thing work and do the trick is it's a natural piece of plastic, most importantly, that floats with a jig head that's going to bring it down a little bit so it can be worked on the bottom, but it's super, super natural in that current. So obviously this guy with the tail sticking up, going through the current, it's going to absolutely get bit. But one tip I want to share with you guys is don't limit yourself to just using a 3-inch turd, a Z-Man TRD. I'm not crazy about that bait. I don't like it that much. This is actually a Zinkers that I cut down a little bit to make it a smaller profile. You can use any type of floating plastic, anything to get this up off the bottom. That's why the fish are eating it. You know, obviously the Cinco profile, the stickworm profile has always gotten bit. But in my mind, they're not eating this thing because it looks like a Cinco or do nothing thing on the bottom. They're eating it because it's little, it's finessey, and it sticks straight up off the bottom. It's super natural. Any little movement's gonna make that tail quiver. So experiment. Never get locked into just fishing one bait. Once I put this guy on, I actually started catching a whole bunch more fish than just a little 2.5, 3-inch turd, whatever that is. Huge shout out to Jackson for having me down there and showing me around. And of course, a shout out to OMTC for providing the kayaks. Go check them out. I'll link them down below, as well as the Ozark Creek Bums if you want to go check out their Instagram. But I'm back home now, going to be doing a little bit of pond fishing, and then I'm finally getting my boat back, so I'm super, super jacked for that. And then I got a couple more trips planned. Got a big one next week to Florida. You guys, if you're locked into the fishing industry, you likely know what that's all about. So I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of filming, hopefully, while I'm down there, my trip while I'm down there. And then back to the summer grind. But thank you guys so much for watching these videos. I'm out of here. Peace.
I'm not sorry. I can't help this love like mine. I'm not sorry. I can't stop with a love like mine. I can't stop with a love